Okay, everybody, Tim here from Lessons on the Web again, and welcome out tonight for another live stream, or you might be watching this as a recording later on. But today we are talking about some different resources you can use to learn piano or music theory, or just practice, reading notes or whatever really you need to practice. We'll explore those different places, and I'll have the people in the live stream maybe share some of the things that they know about that we can take a look at together. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into the lesson. There we go, finally. Yeah, so Rich says right off the bat, so Rich and I were talking about before the stream started, basically about where you can learn, your scales and your fingering for scales. One such book that's really good for that is the Hannon book, and I do not have it handy right now. I actually think I lent it out to a student, but actually, you can go on Hannon's website also. Now, I've shown this off a couple times on the channel. Okay, so here we have HannonOnline.com, and if you scroll down here, you can find the different exercises that we can practice with. So these are all free, and you just click on the one that you need, and then you can download it or you can play it back. So it's a very neat, useful tool. So it shows you what it sounds like very loudly on my tablet here. And the best part also is that you can change the key that they're in. So if C is too easy for you, maybe D flat would be better. But you probably would want to go from like C to something a little bit easier, like G. But yeah, you can probably get them in almost every key, and they're very helpful exercise for developing hand coordination and different strength between different fingers. It's really useful for that. If you practice these exercises on a regular basis, you will get you will get a considerable amount better at the piano for sure. You certainly will be able to play up and down the keyboard a bit better. And at the back of the books, I'm not sure if it's on the site, I haven't seen it, they have scales, and they give you the fingering for the scales. So obviously you have to play the right scale with the right fingers. Or they will not work out quite correctly. Let's see if I can get through all the majors. Although I am going easy, one octave. So you have to know the proper fingering for all your scales. So this would be a good resource, although you might have to get the book for that. I'm not sure if Rich knows whether you can get that out of the website or not. Okay, so we'll just continue here. Yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything there is on the site. I mean, obviously you can take a look around to see if there is something I haven't talked about. Oh, it says piano backing tracks. This is interesting. Play along recording. Okay, so if you wanted to play along with a recording, this website has that as well. One of the best websites, in my opinion, is musictheory.net. Now, as Rich mentioned in the beginning of the live stream in the chat, was he had downloaded the Tunuto app. And so they do have apps now. They even have theory lessons, and those are okay. My theory lessons, I think, are a little bit better, only because these ones, don't get me wrong, they're pretty good at explaining very simple things, but probably not the best for explaining something a little bit more complicated, but it does do the job. I have used that tool before to show some of my students some things on there. Okay, lessons. So, like I said, they have different lessons on things. Like if you're learning about rests, you can click on the lesson, and it'll basically just start going through, the different types of rests and telling you how much they play, how long they play rather, and what they're equal to. Okay, and then you press the next button down here, and that shows you exactly what it's talking about. So it is a very useful tool. It's a very cool little free visual tool for you. You can do other things like time signatures, the staff and the ledger lines. So this is like basically explaining it, showing you the lines and spaces. You probably know a lot of this by now, but perhaps not. So this is a great resource if you're just starting out. You know, of course, watching them or using them along with my videos would probably be also really awesome. And then, yeah, they have things like dots and ties, odd meter, you know, and it actually goes down a bit. So, you know, they do have a few more complicated topics rather than just the very basic ones. But some people prefer, you know, to see a video. But I think this would be great, especially along with something else. Okay, and then under exercises, we have note identification. We've done this a bunch. Hold on. Sorry, I had some allergies there for a second. So, we did the note reading before. You know, you pick out your notes and what you need. Whoa, pretty loud. And then, oh yeah, one thing I want to show you is that if you go up to the little bar here, you can adjust the range of these. And it's pretty neat. And that'll be your range of the notes that they fall under. In case you want to practice a certain range of notes, like maybe from C to G or, you know, the bottom line to the top line, you would use that tool. Or just the ledger lines above. You would set it both of them really high. Like if I wanted to practice only notes above the staff, I could set the bottom and the top, you know, to just be above the staff there. And that way I could practice those. So that should be pretty helpful. Let me move this over a little bit. Hopefully it's not getting in the way there. All right, so we're going back. Okay, so we also have key signature identification. You click on that, and you go through and you practice your key signatures. I won't go through all that stuff today. Whoops. Okay, fretboard. Yeah, we don't play guitar, but as you can see, they have a bunch of things here that are really helpful. If you're doing ear training, this is a cool tool to use because you have to figure out, wait, reference C? I don't get what it's asking me. Question note, is it G? Okay. D. I don't, well, oh yeah, that's right. So it gives you the C and then you find the note above that. A little bit tricky there, but it works pretty well. Okay, if you go to tools, I haven't looked in here in a while. Accidental calculator. Display the correct accidental for the specified note in the key. That's pretty useful. That's a little bit more complicated in music theory. It's not very complicated, but it's more complicated than like a very beginner, rather. The matrix calculator. Oh, this is cool. Well, you might probably don't know what this is, but so what I just did, so you notice how at the bottom it says tone row. So what you do is you pick 11 notes, you know, in a sequence, but they don't have to be all in a row like, you know, a normal scale. So it would be like you're making up your own scale. Like that. I don't know if that was 11. I don't think it was. But anyway, you put them in here. I'm not going to explain all about it, but then you build a song around that. So let me just say I made it out of these notes. Oh no, they always have to be different. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. And then the whole song would be just using those notes. Oops. And then maybe Actually, it worked out kind of well, but you're supposed to pick out 11 of them. So that does add a little bit more dissonance into there. It worked pretty well with only like 6 notes or so. But that's generally what it does. And then you can put that in that order, or you can put it in what they call an inversion, or whatever I did. Like that. And that's what all these means. Like the I means inversion, and then the 4 means how many half steps it is. I'm not going to tell you exactly about it, but this is what's called a 12-tone technique. I think you pick a 12 in total, actually. Oh, that's right, because there's a 0 on the tone row. So that's why there's 12 total. So you pick 12 notes, sorry. And it's just called the 12-tone system, I guess, for writing music. So it's very contemporary. It's not used, obviously, in Mozart's time, but there's something you should be aware of if you ever see it. Okay, they have a tempo tapper. So if you're trying to figure out how fast something is, say it's 1, 2, 3, 4. About 142 beats per minute. What about slower? That was at about 85. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of cool because you can find how fast you want to go, and then figure out what the number would be on the metronome. But that's not that difficult anyway, but it is useful. Exercise customizer, huh? Interesting. This might be useful for videos later on. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that and see what that's all about. So as you can see, musictheory.net is a great resource for, learning how to play the piano. Okay, so we have the all-in-one course books from Alfred on Amazon or wherever you can find them, honestly. And this is a great series, especially if you are a later beginner or an adult. If you're over the age of 12 to 14, it depends. Probably the age of 14, you can probably play these books. So you don't have to be like over 18. It's not like an 18 plus kind of thing. But anyway, they have different levels. They have level 1, level 2, and level 3. I like all 3 of those. And then they have some that are like combination books. So if you see them in like a binder, this how it says Alfred's Basic All-in-One Course, Book 3, Theory, Solo. That's like combining 3 different books. So you only either want to buy one type of the book, or this one, or you either want to get them separately or you want to get them together. You don't need this adult book and the other one I just showed you and this one. So at book 1, and they're not that expensive. What is it, $6.17? They actually went down in price. They used to be $10, as it says there. Let's see. So as you can see, I mean, it will teach you like very introduction things, like how to set the piano, finger numbers and stuff. But what this kind of book is really good for is basically exercises to play. And it like does them in an order that makes sense to where you are on the piano, where you are learning to play piano, rather. Let's see if it actually gets to a song. That would be nice. So as you can see here, here's like the beginning of the book. And here are just some of the, playing examples you can do. You can see that the first one isn't very complicated at all. Oh, and then you have to repeat. Actually, I played that wrong. I should have went my right hand. It is getting late in the day for me. I think I can get away with that. All right, so yeah, I mean, if you just keep going through the book, obviously in the Amazon preview they'll only give you so much, but if you get the whole book, I don't know, is it like 100 pages, 70 some pages? It's pretty long. I mean, you get a lot out of it. It will last you a few weeks to a few months. And there's 3 levels of this. So you go, it will last you probably your first year or two playing, depending on how fast you go through things. It might take 5 years. It might not take 5 years unless you put like other songs in between. But it will certainly keep you busy for a while, especially when you're trying to learn things in a certain order that makes sense to where you are learning piano, like I said. Okay. So, and anyway, even though I don't mention it here, if you find another book, that's great. Feel free to leave in the comments, obviously. But feel free to try that book out and then ask me, if I know if it's any good or not. Some of these I know about, some of them I do not. One series, there's also Alfred Children's. And they have books for children as well. So they're great, maybe up to 10 or 12. I mean, it depends. 10 to 14 because the 14 was for the adults. It depends. It really does. It depends on what your child's learning style is or what your learning style is. As you can see, there's 5 levels of these. And then, there's a guitar book. I use that with one of my students. And they're just a little bit more fun. They have very colorful pictures and things like that. And they have a lot to see. Okay, so what else? Oh, Faber Piano Adventures is also great for everybody. It depends on what the level is. If it's level 1, great for kids, or if it's primer, great for kids. These are like for young adults, maybe like a little bit beyond the books I just talked about. But certainly not. I mean, adults can play these books and it'll be perfectly fine. It might be a tiny bit easy for you, but if you're just starting out, one of these books wouldn't be bad at all. Adult Piano Adventure. So they have, the adult one, I have seen this book. I actually don't have it, surprisingly. Maybe I should pick that up for some of my adult students. So what do you think? If anybody out there is, besides Rich, has any good ideas, even if Rich has any good ideas, I think I'd love to hear them. So if you have any other books or websites that you want me to look at or that you like, let me know. Or if you have any questions about finding material to learn. And by the way, while I'm waiting for this, if you are learning something through this lesson, always give it a thumbs up. Let others know that, this is a good lesson too and that they should take a look. I'm just looking at my book collection. If you want to get into jazz and stuff, you probably want to get what's called a fake book. And what this has is it has what's called lead sheet in it. I just got this for somebody. It's crazy long, crazy huge book. It's like a Bible. It's crazy. The only thing I don't like about this book is that the print is really, really small. Because there's so many. There's almost too many songs. Okay, let's see some songs. So, this is what I mean by lead sheet. You see how Achy Breaky Heart doesn't have any left hand. It doesn't tell you what the left hand is at all. But it does. I mean, it does have what's called the chord symbols up top. So you see that A right there, right where it says below. It says right below where it says moderately. What is going on here now? Odd, because before I could shift it over, and now it is crazy. But anyway, what it does is it has that A up top is the A major chord. So all you do is you play that chord with your left hand. Let me see. It's like kind of blurry, but I can make most of it out. But anyway, that's what you do, is you can play just those chords in the left hand. That kind of just fills out the left hand. Once you get good at it, kind of give a little bit more rhythm to the chords, or you can play them as arpeggios. That's hard. So those are just some different things you can do with lead sheet, not to get too far into it. But if you're looking for a fake book, that's what they're called, if you want to get good at that kind of thing. Really helpful for playing jazz, because a lot of jazz comes in lead sheet. But also really good at studying your chords. You may want to get an easier fake book than this one, though. This one is a little bit more advanced. Oh, Rich says the Kenneth Baker book is good. Sorry. I did see that earlier, but I missed it. I missed saying it, rather. All right, the Kenneth Baker book. Kenneth Baker. All right, let's do it. Oh. Is this what it is, Rich? Is it the complete piano player? Omnibus edition. Sounds powerful. Okay, let's see some songs. Oh, there's stuff like about timing. That's cool. And rhythm. Yes, this is the one. This is the one Rich is talking about. Oh, and it has some songs to play. It has, okay. It's talking about rhythm. That's neat. I think I've heard of this before. I'm going to add it to my cart, so I know to look at it later. Okay, interesting. So that looks really neat. It looks like it has like a lot of different stuff in it. Okay, look. Looking through the index would be nice. Lessons. Okay, so these are the lessons. These are the songs. Sorry, allergies again. Songs that you can play. They look fairly standard, but there's some that you don't find too often. Annie Song, Book of Ohio. So feel free to check this out. If you're a beginner, it looks like it's for beginners, like maybe up to a certain level. Oh, there's different books in it. Okay. I got it. Yeah, so check it out. I don't own it, but Rich says it's good. So at least take a look and see if it's for you. Oh, okay. I got you. I figured it was something like that with the word omni. Okay, so that's like all I have for tonight. It's a Sunday. I know not as many people show up to this one, so it looks like, I know there are some other people here, but it looks like Rich is obviously here again. He is the faithful student. Although we have a lot of really good ones. I'm surprised Manny's not here tonight, or Shesk, or some of the other ones. What are some other ones? Molly, that's right. And then there was a bunch of new ones last time, so hopefully we will see them again, but I know Sunday probably is not as good of a time as Friday night. I may change it. I don't know. I'm probably going to keep it the same for a while because I have enough to work on for sure. Oh, man, sorry. I get tired. When is my book coming out? My book? Oh, that would be awesome to make a book. I don't know. I'm busy making videos, but I was thinking about compiling the courses into a book, but I don't know how I'd do that. I don't have time for it right now, but I could certainly do it maybe in a few months. I don't know. I'm definitely booked all summer. I mean, not as far as like, well, even in terms of students, I'm pretty full. But in terms of like things to plan for the website and stuff, I'm just swamped right now, but in a good way. So a lot of good things are coming, like more live streams. Oh man, I need to catch up on sleep a little bit. I'm tired. All right, everybody. So I'm not going to yawn at you for the rest of the night. These are just some of the resources that I like to use. And if you want to use them too, I certainly will not stop you. So again, if you like this video, whether you're watching it live or as a recording, give it a thumbs up, especially if you have learned something and you liked it. That's what it's for. That's right. So anyway, the next stream, or streams in general, will be taking place Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to look that up. And then 8 p.m. on Fridays and Sundays, basically. Sorry, I was busy typing. Oh, no. Go to lessonsontheweb.com/community, and if you scroll down here, I need to fix the layout of the page a little bit, but if you scroll down here, you can get the calendar, so you get the official dates. I do take off every once in a while. When is the next time I'm taking off? I don't know. For the next few weeks, it looks like we have one on Friday and Sunday, so check it out then. Feel free to just stop by the website in general, check it out, see everything there is. You know, there's articles and videos, free videos and non-free videos. But, you know, take a look. You never know. You might find something really good over there. Yeah, sorry, Rich. If the turnout was higher, I'll have to figure out how to do that for Sunday. You know, I'd stick around a little bit longer. But I really talked about everything I wanted to talk about. This was a little bit of an impromptu thing, just because I kind of knew, you know, not as many people tend to show up for the Sunday one, which is okay. I like doing this, so, and then I can record it later, and then other people can see it, so I certainly don't mind. Although I might pick a better day, like I said, I don't know though. Ash. Oh, Ash says, how do I move around the piano faster? Welcome, Ash. Great to hear from you. So one of the things would be to do the Hannon exercises that we talked about earlier. So if you go to HannonOnline.com, you can find all these exercises, and they will help you build hand strength and dexterity, your ability to control your muscles around the piano. So they will help a lot with that, but they won't really necessarily make you good at jumping around the piano. One thing that would be good is probably like things with octaves. So try your scales in octaves. And if you can do that, up and down in a scale, like C scale, you want to start easy. You can probably start to do the arpeggios, meaning this is the C major scale, C, E, G. You want to do that in octaves. See, even I had a little trouble, and keep trying. Man, even I can't get it right. The octaves are pretty difficult to be able to jump up and down. But if you can do that, you can probably jump up and down with different notes as well. One thing you want to do is, I don't have one in front of me, but if you find a part in a piece of music, what I would try to do is I'd hit a note really high and then see if I can move my hand down far enough to play a C major chord. Surprisingly, I'm better at that than the octave thing. Of course, as I say that. And and do that with the left hand too. And go for accuracy. So, you know, slow it down if you need to. And then I just moved it down an octave, but at least be able to jump from a C down up to a C major chord an octave higher. So just practice that. And that will develop your ability to hit like specific notes from a distance, from at least an octave. And do that with different chords too. So I can do that with an F major chord. I'm going to play F first, and then play the chord. Then G, F, C. So you can try those little exercises to kind of build your ability to really tackle notes from high up and high low. So you do the combination of exercises. The hand ones are really useful in developing the hand strength and things like that. Doing the things with octaves also helps. Whether it's in a scale or arpeggios, and then the thing with the chord, you hit the note and then the chord. So I hope that helps. That's really probably where I would start with that subject. Thank you, Rich. And it looks like more people have showed up. Maybe they will breathe some life into me. So anyway, I hope everybody is enjoying it. I will stick around for a little bit longer just to see what happens. I might answer another question or two. So if you're out there and you have a question, feel free to let me know. If not, you have caught us kind of at the tail end. They usually last about an hour, but I'm getting a little worn out today. Like I said, I didn't sleep 100% last night, but I'll hang in there if I get some more questions. And then feel free to watch the recording of this later, because it will, unless you're watching that recording right now, because we went over a ton of other exercises and things, and also good music books and good music resources. We talked about that much earlier. Well, I'm all out of things to talk about, Rich. That's the problem. So I'm just going to give it like another couple minutes for anybody to ask a question. And, I'll answer maybe like one or two more. You're welcome, Ash. So you're always welcome to come back out. And it was really awesome that I could answer your question for you. Yeah, Rich, I can do that. I'd rather save it for another time, but I'll do it. Okay, so you have lines like lines on a staff. You have your staff made of 5 lines. You have your ledger lines. This is the second one. This is used for notes up and down on the staff. And then you have different types of bar lines. You have a regular bar line. That's between all the measures like normal. And then you have your double bar line. That's separates measures like normal as well, but it's between a different section. So if you had a distinctly different sound or a different section of your sonata or whatever, you'd use your double bar line. But they aren't double black. Notice how they're like the thinner ones, because the next one you have the bold double bar line, and that signifies the end of the piece. Only really one of them is really bold, but that's what it's called. The dotted one, so it subdivides, only measures a complex meter or shorter segments. This is not very common. But it's like if you had a very complicated rhythm, it would use that to show you basically how the measure is divided up into. You have your brace that connects to your treble clef and your bass clef. And then you have your alto clef. Also, the C clef is really the soprano, alto, tenor, or bass. And it's really this weird looking 3 thing. I don't know. But basically, whatever note is right in the middle of that is C. That's how it works. That's why it's called the C clef. And then depending on how high up or down it is, it's either the soprano, alto, tenor, and bass clefs. There is one for bass clef though. Weird. I don't know, but that's how that one works. Unless you play viola or something, you usually don't have to worry about it. Okay, Rich, what's I'm not going to go through all of them, but those are some basic ones. Oh, multi-measure rest. So this one indicates how many measures. Like if this only happens when you're playing with a band, but if you have to rest for 10 measures, like it has here, instead of writing out 10 measures of rest to save paper, they just write 1, and they just say that thing, like that rest thing with a 10 on it. You have your breath mark, your caesura, which is like a pause, so you'd be playing along. And then they have a caesura. And then you continue. Okay, and then we have our flat, sharp. A lot of people know what they are. You know, flat, you go 1 note to the left, one half step to the left. Sharp is 1 half step to the right. Natural cancels any of those out. A double flat, a lot of people don't know this, so there is such a thing as a double flat. So what do? You play the note, and then you go down, not 1 half step, but 2. And it's mostly used for chords. I'm not really going to explain why, because I want to keep it simple, as they say. But anyway, you go a whole step down. A lot of people do ask, well, you know, instead of saying F double flat, why don't I just say E flat? It has to do with the chord spellings and things like that. But like I said, I'm not going to get too far into that. And then you have your double sharp, which doesn't look like a double sharp, does it? It looks like a weird X thing. It looks like a jack, like when you play jacks when you're a kid. And that raises it a whole step the other way. Or 2 chromatic semitones, as it says, as it states. Your flat key signatures, your sharp key signatures. We had a really good key signature lesson last time. So feel free when you're done watching this video to check that out. Or the recording of that. You have your demi flat. I'm not going to get into this because you don't see these ever. Sharp and a half. Yeah, never seen it. I'm sure it does exist though. Okay, so you have simple time signatures. That's like 3/4, 4/4, 2/4. They can only be counted one way. You can also have a compound time signature, which can be counted 2 ways. Like 6/8 can be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it can be counted as 1, 2. With each first 3, each 3 being grouped into 2 groups of 2. 2 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2. I talked more about 6/8 in my rhythm lesson, so feel free to check that out as well. I have a whole playlist of those on the channel. Okay. There's a lot of these. I'm not going to go over all these tonight, so maybe I'll stop at common time. Common time is just a basic, it's the most common time signature, which is 4/4. And then alabrev, or cut time, is 2/2. So you're cutting it all in half. Now a quarter note gets half of a beat instead of 1. Hey Mike, what do you mean by playback resolved? This will be uploaded. I don't know if you've been trying to watch this whole time and haven't been able to, but yes, this will be uploaded. So yeah, I'd love to have you watch it. But good to have you, by the way. Yeah, you're welcome, Rich. No problem. So just remind me anytime, and then remind me that we stopped at common time, and then maybe we'll do this as kind of like a filler. Like if I, don't have enough things to talk about for that lesson, only plan so much for each one, and leave time for questions. So maybe sometimes it'd be nice to have something like this. So just remind me about it, and we will continue, because as you can see, There is a lot more. Probably be here for 2 more hours talking about this alone. Oh, and then, I see, Mike, before that you were saying I have a playback issue. I do see that you can only hear audio. Okay, so it is back. So yeah, the YouTube messes it up sometimes, but it looks like it's good. Right, like I think it's all moving around. Yeah, exercises for left hand. If you do the hand and exercises again, I don't hate to go back to it because they're really good. So if you want to do those and you want to do them just with your left hand and develop, if you really need that development in your left hand and you're really good with right hand already, feel free to check this out. They're at Hannon / like that one dash, I guess that one is online.com. Totally free, and you can take a look at any of these exercises. I recommend not only doing the exercises, but then trying them. Here's the exercise. It plays it back for you. You can download it, which is great. And then you can select what key it's in. So I suggest trying them in different keys, like the key of D, things like that, and go through all of them. And then do your scales also. I mean, I would do all these both-handed, but if you want to do them just left-hand to give it a little bit more practice, that'd be great. Also, let me show you one thing. School of Velocity, Czerny's School of Velocity for the piano. I talked about Hannon and Czerny before, but these are also great exercises. I don't know if they have just left. Like, I know they have both hand exercises, but I don't know if they have any that are just left hand alone. But like I said, you can break down any of these exercises into just the left hand. Yeah, yeah, I can answer your question. Why could die? I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce it. But why Diab. I'm not sure. But anyway, yes, I will answer. So a trill. So a trill is when you go before two notes. Let me write one out for us, so I can show you what a trill does. I think I might have to get my pen. Just hold on 1 second. I will be back in like a second. Well, maybe 2 seconds. Yeah, you're definitely welcome, Mike. I'm really glad I can help you out. Elk is here. Glad to have you with us. It's okay that you're late. We will be concluding fairly soon, but there will be a recording of this, and then we will meet again on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 53 minutes ago from right now is when we'll meet on Friday, if that makes any sense. Oh, we am. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It's just difficult for me to pronounce. Okay. Oh, one day can you do some broken chords with the fingering? Yes, remind me, Rich. Not today, though. Trill. Okay, I am answering what a trill is. That's right. Got sidetracked a little bit. So you got an E and an F. Well, let me do it this way. Okay, trill. Here it is. Okay, I don't even have to put the other one in. So here's how it works. A trill will have, it'll say trill, right? And it'll have, it's usually only have over one note. So it'll usually be over the E, but sometimes they show you what note you're going in between. But anyway, with a trill, What you do is you start from it's weird because you start from the note above the note that's written. So if it's an E, you're going to go to F, and you're going to alternate between that note and the original note, the note that's written. And you go back and forth. There's a technique to get it. It actually works better if you use the pedal. And you do it for as many beats as it says. So if it's over a quarter note, you do it for 1 beat, 1, or you do it for 2 beats if it's a half note. 1, 2, or a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Let me see what it does if I do that. So there you go. That would be the whole note one. So it's weird because you don't start from the note that's written. You start from the note that's right above that. And you go back and forth as many times as you can for the amount of time that the note is written over. Oh, you're from Lebanon. Okay, and it is 4 a.m. there. Okay, so I won't keep you much longer, but I'm really glad you could make it out. That's really awesome. So, again, for anybody just listening, Fridays and Sundays, 8 p.m., which isn't, it's 53 minutes ago from right now, or 55 minutes ago from right now. So whatever time that is for you, put that on Friday, and that's where we will be. Okay, Rich gets the last question of the day. So, how do you play arpeggio chords? So instead of playing this chord all at once, you play the notes separate. But if you're doing them in different octaves, you're going to change your fingering. Because if you do 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, I mean, I could do it okay. It doesn't work quite as well, though, but you have to space it out with 1, 2, and 3. Play them a lot better that way. At least I can. And then one thing I don't talk about a whole lot is if you're playing up that, like, no matter what direction you're playing the keyboard, you want to have your fingertips pointed slightly in that direction. And then when you're going back the other way, you want the opposite. You want to practice those for each hand. The weird thing about left hand, oh no, it's 5, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So the fingering is a little bit different. A little rusty on them. I need to practice them a little bit, but I'm sure just a few minutes and I'd have it. Oh, well, that's still not the scale. I mean, that is the chord. That's basically playing like this. That's what technique you would use to play those. Now, if you're just playing them with the left hand and 1 octave, it's not that hard. I mean, you just play the pinky, middle, thumb, middle, and just practice that in different keys. Oops. Just like that. So I hope that helped answer the question, Rich. And then thank you so much everybody else for coming out tonight. I don't know what that is. That looks like it's in the program. There's like a weird pen mark. But anyway, thank you so much everybody for coming out tonight. Another great live stream. I feel like picked up a bit here at the end, which is great. And you're always welcome to come back. I love to see people come back, and I'd be more than happy to help you in learning the piano, sometime in the future. So, and then feel free to tell anybody. Like if you know somebody that's really into learning piano or they're thinking about starting, let them know about our live stream and the channel in general. Just to spread the love and help somebody out. That's all right, Rich. All right, so I'm going to end it here tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Rich, and thank you, everybody. Let's see. We am. Yes, we am. Good night. Thank you, sir. Or madam. I'm not sure which one you are from your. I can't see your picture. I know there's a picture there, but I can't see what you look like. It's very tiny. But thank you for coming out. So it would be great to see you again. Rich again. Thank you. Mike, I saw. Thank you, Mike, for coming out. And let me see if there's anybody else. I know there's one other person. Oh, an Elk or Elk. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm from the United States. And we have a very limited set of names here, I would say. A girl. Oh, very cool. Okay, so glad you let me know that. I will try my best to remember. I probably will. I am pretty good with that kind of stuff. And then one, Mike asked if there was something like Piano Hero. It'd be a better concept than Guitar Hero. Yes. One last thing we'll do today. Do I have it on this computer? Oh. It's what I'm using right now. So the light up keys that I use, it's from a program called Synthesia. I think it's called that. I don't know if you ever heard of it. But it's pretty much Guitar Hero for your fingers. Whoa. Alright, let's get on with it a little bit. Let's see what it's like. Oh, it teaches, I guess it teaches you how to read music too. I didn't know that. I don't have it installed on my tablet here, but check this out. It has, you can even look them up on YouTube. It's basically Guitar Hero where they come down in the bars and you play that. I recommend that a little bit for like coordination and stuff, but I ultimately don't recommend it for, I mean, you can enable the music notation, so it would be okay. But yeah, that's generally what you're talking about, the Guitar Hero for piano. But no, I see, Mike. Oh, it started playing it. Yeah, you can try it for free. I think the free version lets you do a few things with it. I bought it, I think it's only a one-time thing. So if you buy it for $30, I mean, it will last you a long time. I know not everybody has $30. But I haven't looked this up on Torrent. I haven't used torrents in a while. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't point you in the right direction on that one. But it is a good program. So if you buy it for $29, it looks like it's on sale. There's no affiliation here. You'll probably get good, like if you like that sort of thing, if you're looking for that sort of thing, that might be great. There is some sort of music education that's missing with this sort of thing because it's very, not robotic, but it's very like you're just hitting the bars that come down. So it's not really teaching you much about technique, but it is kind of a cool practice tool, and it is what I use for my lit up keys, when I do this. Thank you, Mike, for calling me a legend. That's terrific. All right, everybody, I'm seriously heading out now because I will get caught up in more of this stuff. I love talking about this kind of stuff, but that's why I got to end it, unfortunately, because otherwise I'll spend all night. Anyway, thanks, everybody, and have a great one, and I'll talk to you later.